Getting difficult out here. Look at this entrance. It's awesome. So nice. Look, I got my own little door now. Awesome, because you can't even see in there anymore. Perfect. So if someone camps right here, they can't even see me from right next to me. Perfect. Because we've got a world full of soulless people. People who want to pay attention to you. Why don't you pay attention to yourself? Far out. Maybe that's why you're not a great man or woman, because you're not putting in the effort. Well, that's what this video is about. So, you're probably wondering why you're not one of the great ones. Were you not chosen or something? Well, I'm telling you, there might be a whole lot of dirigibility behind it. You're waiting around to be found. I like that saying. You have to wait around to be found. The universe favors the bold and the courageous, so on and so forth. All these little sayings. And, you're not putting in the work. When you were partying, I was researching. And I was grounding. So I was connecting electrically to everything that is. So that I have the information flow of everything that is going through my body. You get it yet? Grounding. Electrically connected to all that is. Therefore, I get all that is through me. Even if it's just in compressed file format. Anyway, so this video is about the 2020's. It's 2019, November 28th, I think today. I was just thinking about how I don't think there's going to be many of us left in the 2020's. What do I mean, many of us? Well, many like rebels, system rebels. I've got another video saying how we're going into elite world. Because the markets are rising and they keep putting in stimulus. So I can just tell where it's all going. Mega hyperinflation. Inflation beyond anything you've seen in the 80s. Baby boomers, so no, you won't know what's coming. It's just going to be hyper. Never have we seen these circumstances. There's negative rates. It's like, here, borrow my money and I'll give you 1%. Usually, you pay them to borrow their money. Now they're paying you to borrow their money. That's how sick the money must be. Oh, that's right, it's created a debt. It's created from debt and out of debt. And you're a debt slave in slavery and serfdom. And no, that's not a conspiracy, that's the real world that you really live in really every day. So you're just ignorant if you don't think you're a slave, because you're literally the definition of a slave. You're literally not free. Have you tried to walk away from the system? Well, that's my point here with this video in the 2020's. I can already tell that we're going to elite world. I don't need to explain economically the situation. If you've got the ability to see it, you'll understand when I say that immediately. Basically, like I just aforementioned, a bit of story about it. They've put in all this stimulus and the markets are just going to keep driving up for the next few years, I think. But what that's doing is, it's interesting because they stuffed up this normal cycle, like a 6-year cycle. We should be in market crash right now in 2019. Should not have gone back up, but they stimulused everything. Europe got stimulus. Now they're doing stimulus everywhere again. So, not everywhere, but in, major economies. But, China's doing it. America's going for broke. And this is my point, that you are going for broke in this system. They're trying to blow up the system. They're just not going to tell you what they're doing. They know what they're doing because they've got the plan for New World Order. So, one of the steps is you've got to blow up the fiat counterfeited debt money system that everyone's complaining about. Put in cryptocurrencies, tag people, and electronic money so that every transaction, every move you make during the day, you go to buy this from that service station, you go to that shop, you go to this shop, they will know. Every step is your way. Then they're going to implement things like, so you're already tracked. Then they're going to implement, by the blockchain, every transaction is tracked. Then they're going to implement like what China is doing with the score system. How good of a citizen are you? How good boy are you? I already did a whole episode on this, so if you go to buy alcohol, it's a dumb smart system, because if you go buy alcohol, they might think you're an alcoholic, but really I might be making tinctures to heal people. That would make me a good boy. So I'm not buying the alcohol because I'm a drunk, you see? So therefore their system is a dumb smart system, and obviously many lives will be lost again as usual to their dumbass ways, because they're soulless. They will avoid the way any way they can. The way is, through nature and like things like biomimicry, renewables, start getting solar panels on every single house before we make a solar panel spacecraft, perhaps. See how you're slaves? You don't even have solar panels to do all of your power, which you can. You can take care of all of your power, just solar. In the whole world. The whole world. I don't care what the experts say. I've calculated it for myself. Have you thought for yourself? Go calculate it. Well, how would you do that? You'd take world energy consumption figures, then you'd figure out how much of the sun's radiation hits the planet's given surface and how much area you have in a country, and, it's not that hard to calculate. And they say, wind and solar's not enough, but I know it is, because I already did an essay on it years ago at university for myself. I failed because the thing was something like, I ended up passing because I did a really good essay, but I turned the essay off track. It was something like, the essay question was like, tell us the difference between wind power and like, I don't know, water or fossil fuel or something stupid. I went, wind power? What the hell? And, my first paragraph was, okay, we have to turn this whole essay into a solar power lecture. Why the hell is the essay question wind power? And so the first lecturer failed me, but then I got it revised and I actually got a good mark on it. Passed with flying colours when, they really realised what I did. So clearly the first lecturer had, as usual, hate Ben space. Now, why does everybody hate me everywhere I go all the time? Is because I'm the truth, and society and culture is a mass hallucination which has gone as far away as it can from nature and the light of truth, and the light in nature, which is the truth. So that's why I said things like biomimicry technologies and renewables are the way, not to, not subsidies, subsidizing the fossil fuels and blah, blah, blah. All the backward, half stuff they're doing. It's like they're saying, oh yeah, look, we'll give you 2 solar panels on your house. Yeah, 2 solar panels, that will do you good. No, you have to demand that, hey, I know all my power can be free. Every little bit of electricity you don't have to pay for, actually. The energy in the universe is abundant compared to our silly little world consumption figures, the monkey world consumption energy. It's nothing. It's not nothing compared to what our star pumps out. And that's just our local star. Anyway, so my point with all this is to rigmarole what I was just talking about back into how they're going off path. And because it's so hard now to walk the walk, the spiritual walk, to actually not just talk the walk, talk the talk, but actually walk the talk. A lot of people are going to find it very hard to do now because, we're getting further and further away. We're at the height of ignorance and all this. And if you understand the times we're in, it's the apocalypse and what all that means. Rigmarole that all in with what I've said. So it's pretty easy to see what's going to happen. And that's why this all just came together for me a few minutes ago in, a little mini vision. Okay, video time. Here we are. So we're going into elite world where everybody's going to be very materialistic and spurious materialistic. And I'm going to go the complete opposite way on purpose. Because in the end of the apocalypse, there'll be a return to nature. And I'll be more than famous. I'll be infamous forever. You get it? That's not the only reason I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do, and I know it. It's said that, if you're not on a government hit list by now, you're not, walking right. There's some quote, I forgot the quote, something like, if you're not like on a government list by now, I forget the rest of the quote, but basically you're not doing it right. Because the government is not your loving, caring government. It's an enslaving system. We don't need to go into all this. If you disagree, get the fuck off the channel. You're a moron. You're so inured that you fight for your own enslavement so that you can stay enslaved. Don't want you here. Get off the channel, because we're just going to argue, and then I'll look like the idiot because of the saying, never argue with an idiot. People might not be able to tell the difference. Well, it's true. So, what I've seen coming now is like an elite world where we're going to get a hyperinflation. All the elites are going to try and take care of themselves. You can see all this forming, like in South Africa. All the rich people have like private little armies and stuff now. The security are becoming like, they're old army people, retired army people who want to like, I'm not even going to say anything against it. It's as ridiculous as it is. They want to stay in that mind frame, which is the brutish ape mind, by the way. It's definitely not spiritual. When you think you're like and all evolution is spiritual. So when you wake up to what you were doing, like in the army, like how now more army veterans now from Afghanistan and stuff, more than citizens are saying against the war. More American army people who have come back from like Afghanistan and stuff, it's like 69%, and it's like 62% in the citizen population, non-army people. More army people are saying, hey, we need to stop these ridiculous wars than citizens now. Because they were in the know, they went there and they saw it for themselves. They see how ridiculous it all is. War is the biggest lie yet. And what's interesting is it's more army people than citizens now, which shows you how ignorant everybody is, comfortable at home. Oh, we've got our boys overseas fighting for us, yippee, and we're all good forever now. No, you're just making the world more ignorant and worse. You're dividing, and, that's how the conquering by the evil happens. When we start to come together, when we blend our light, then we will know how bright we can all be as a humanity. So we're going to elite world now, and you're going to see people just give into this. I feel the urge massively. I just want to give in. I want to be comfortable. I want to have money because it buys everything. It's going to be very hard for you to not give into. Even I want to give into it, but I'm resisting for the right reasons. You're going to want to give into it because it's going to be too hard. They've got too many on their side. There's way more soulless people in this world than there are soulful people. Now, what I mean by that is there's more people who are organic, portal, soulless, spiritless humans, or who are acting like it. So if you're acting like it and you're fast asleep by, I don't know, trauma-based sleep, whatever, ignorance-based sleep, whatever your sleep base is, you're basically acting like a soulless human. And so that's why a lot of us are putting you in the category and just saying that's how many soulless humans that there are. So you've got to, walk the walk. You've got to be a soul now. That means supporting other souls because there's more of them than us. So I bet you're gonna watch this. You're gonna see people like me. There's gonna be less and less like conspiracy people, less rebellious people, because the system is just closing in. It's the great harvest. It's the harvest at the end of history. This is all construed. This is all planned, and it's very hard to escape. That's why I learned the plants, because the plants grow everywhere. Now that I know how to eat grass, I could probably literally survive without money, technically, because it's the only plant to soak up all the minerals. So at least I can get mineralized, I can stay alive, you can get some protein from it. I just have to eat a shitload of it. But you get the idea, why I went into plants and building my skills arsenal so I can stay away from the system. Because the more skills you have, the more you can stay away from that. But they're going to stop that now. It's going to be the rise of the black market. and in opposition to the rise and the power of the governmental establishment system. And we've got Hunger Games, and I call it Elite World. And what you're going to see is people are going to get less interested in this soulless human stuff. They're going to think that it's all bullcrap, because they're going to join Satan's army. Satan's army is anybody who's paid off. Any of you who are in the system working normal jobs, you are part of Satan's army. You're paid off.